I'm Kevin Thomas, pastor of Forest Lake United Methodist Church. Thank you for joining us as we look at this week's lectionary readings. Today, let's talk about Philippians chapter 1, verses 21 through 30. For me, to live is Christ, and dying is gain. If I am to live in the flesh, that means fruitful labor for me, and I do not know which I prefer. I am hard pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better. But to remain in the flesh is more necessary for you. Since I am convinced of this, I know that I will remain and continue with all of you for your progress and joy and faith, so that I may share abundantly in your boasting in Christ Jesus when I come to you again. Only live your life in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ, so that whether I come and see you or am absent and hear about you, I will know that you are standing firm in one spirit, striving side by side with one mind for the faith of the gospel, and are in no way intimidated by your opponents. For them, this is evidence of their destruction, but of your salvation. And this is God's doing, for he has graciously granted you the privilege not only of believing in Christ, but of suffering for him as well, since you are having the same struggle that you saw I had, and now hear that I still have. I've heard it said that you should live your life in such a way that the preacher won't have to lie at your funeral. That's pretty good advice. Advice Paul seemed to follow. At the time he wrote to the Philippians, he was torn between this world and the next. He had suffered a lot for the gospel. He knew the riches that were waiting him beyond the grave. He sounds a little homesick for a place he's never been before. That kind of confidence inspires me. I've seen that same confidence in the lives of hundreds of my church members over the last 32 years. Often I've had the holy privilege of standing at the bedside of people in their dying moments. I've had many more conversations with those who knew that they were in their final days. People who emitted a hope beyond reason. They were preparing for a journey. They knew that to depart and be with Christ was far better. Those people give me hope and inspire me. I hope they'll inspire you as well. They live life in a way that prepared them for the journey. I'm trying to learn to do that. It's hard, though. I get distracted by the worries of this world. I forget to invest time in the things that matter, like family and friends and faith. Maybe that's your story too. Together, let's commit to spending whatever time we have left for preparing for the journey. Let's fill our days with acts of love for God and one another. Let's invest our remaining time on those things that eternally matter.